to the Actors Platform with Steve Collins. Stay tuned, we have a great show for you today.
So Baltimore, put those hands together for Division 7.
Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the Actors Platform with Steve Collins. I'm your host, Steve Collins. We're on the USS Constellation again, Pier 1 and the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. And yes, you can hear the sirens blaring in the background. We are definitely here in Baltimore. Our guest today is our local artist, Baltimore artist, rapper, Slick Flock. And I have to apologize because I have not listened to your music, but tell us a little bit about yourself living in Baltimore and what was the inspiration to come up with this song about Baltimore?
Well, like you said, my name's Slick Flock, local artist. Grew up in East Baltimore, Northeast Baltimore, and I've been rapping since like early 20s, late teens, 19, 20 years old. But Baltimore, that came from like a lot of my music come from experiences. So like I'm just telling you, for somebody that's from another city, what it's like in Baltimore, pretty much, you know, the good and the bad, you know, because everything ain't all bad here, but it is a lot of bad here. It's just you gotta know how to maneuver. If you mind your business, you won't see what's going on the dark side for real, but just stay in your lane, that's all it is, pretty much.
And I do live in Baltimore, 30 years. My kids were born here, and so with rap music, the way I look at it, and maybe someone else probably coined this modern poetry, because you're expressing yourself, what you see, but you're doing it through rap music. You know, I could probably go to where some of the more famous names that came out of Baltimore, like Tupac, you know, again, you know, he's up there. But who were your inspirations? I mean, you know, growing up in the neighborhood and you're expressing yourself that way, which is great, but anyone in particular, any artist, whether they're from Baltimore or not, that just said, you're like, man, I can do this, I want to do this.
I won't say any like artists here I grew up on in particular. I mean, but as far as like influence from like other places, like my favorite rapper, Lil Wayne. You know, so, you know, you got Lil Wayne, you got like Jadakiss, you got Gucci Mane, you know, it's just a bunch of different artists, but Lil Wayne probably my biggest influence as an artist. So that's how I got it started. But as far as locally, what got me started was like my sister and my cousins and my homeboys, just the people I was around. That's what got me started. But once I started to do music, and you gotta have some type of influence, so that's when I started looking at the music that I listened to growing up.
So tell us about that, where their influence, is it, say like a Friday night gathering somewhere, or you're just in the backyard, or just, you know, and just somebody just starts cooking on something, and I mean, how does it develop? How did it evolve for you, you know, from the influences?
I started like, I say for my cousins and my homeboys, we used to be doing, you know, some illegal stuff. But in the midst of that, the positive thing was like, doing that, they just, like this when the first iPhones came out, so they just put instrumentals on and they just be freestyling. And I used to watch all the time, and then one day I just hopped in the cypher with them, and then after that, I started doing it more. But as far as my sister was actually making songs.
Okay.
You know, so what they was doing, my cousin and them was doing like some recreational play type stuff, but my sister really was going to the studio and making songs, so that's how I started to go to the studio and make songs and things like that for real from my sister.
Now, did she let you do anything on any of her work, or was she start with an iPhone, just record it and progressed into the studio?
That was my cousins that did the iPhone and stuff like that, but as far as like, yeah, man, my sister and my cousins, we used to do a lot of, like I said, we've been rapping for a long time, so like videos when I first started rapping, probably still on YouTube.
So you're involved in the upcoming project Voodoo Baby, which involves around storylines around rap. And tell us about the song. I understand your song is about Baltimore, and is it just? I know I asked you earlier, but when you put it in a different context for, say, someone like me or our viewers that aren't familiar with rap or listen to it frequently, like what's the message in your song about Baltimore? Just the gritty part, growing up in East Baltimore. I mean, how would you
Pretty much.
translate it?
Like my lyrics is self-explanatory, so when you hear the lyrics, it's right there.
Like a rapper when you're in the groove and you start going.
Mm-hmm.
So you auditioned for Voodoo Baby. I did have a guest on here that's also involved in the production that talks about music. He mentioned to me about being in music videos and just the nonverbal and how doing background work in some videos he did, how from an acting perspective, how important it is. Do you see yourself as an actor? I mean, an artist, yes, writing songs, expressing yourself through your music, but when you think about acting, what do you think about?
I see myself as an actor, like I'm in the beginning stages. I ain't where I want to be at, but as far as me thinking myself, seeing myself as an actor, yeah,
Okay.
for sure. That's just another thing I'm putting under my belt.
I think of, like, say, Snoop Dogg, where started as a rapper, now he's a great actor. I mean, you never know where it's going to come from. Now, your character, you're not playing yourself. What do you know about, or what, say, the character that's been written for the screenplay, for the script for Voodoo Baby? Can you tell us about that character? Is it someone like you? Is it somebody different, like somebody you know?
Like, the only thing Rufus got in common is like we both are artists, but he like a dickhead.
So your character name is Rufus.
Yeah, so like,
or no?
yeah,
Or the main character is.
Yeah,
okay.
That's my character, but like I ain't like him personally, but like as far as an artist, like he give me like Kanye West type vibes.
Right.
So as far as on that tip, yeah, he not like me, but I feel like I can bring him to life.
Mm-hmm. Now, is any actors out there that, maybe, I'm sure you watch movies, television shows, anyone out there, one, several, that you just like, okay, maybe I can steal something from them, because every actor approaches things differently, and the way you get better is look at what they're doing, a technique. Is there any actors out there that when their movie's on, you're like, all right, I'm gonna stop and pause and watch this scene and see what they do that you think?
I gotta be honest, like that's something that I gotta start doing. Start really locking in on certain actors so I can really perfect my craft a little bit better. But like before I got into this, I would watch stuff with Denzel and like Martin, things like that. But as far as me, I gotta start doing what you're saying so I can better my craft.
Right. Now, we know you can sing, you write music. Any other special skills that can you swim? Can you ride a motorcycle? Can you drive, anything is, don't leave anything off the table, because there's so many different skills out there. People don't even think of it, like swimming. Some people don't know how to swim, but any skills out there that you have?
Before I did music, I played basketball. Like that was my first love before anything, basketball. So I do that, and then I have my own clothing line as well, which I'm wearing right now.
There we go. Clothing line. What's the name of it? Let's give them a plug. What is it?
BUG Apparel. And
BUG
it's
Apparel.
for Believe You're Great.
Believe You're Great.
Yeah.
I like it.
He's going to be working with Travis Winky and doing a fashion show.
Tell us about working with Travis Winky, fashion show.
I'm waiting. I ain't working with him yet, but it's supposed to be in the plans in the future. So I'm just anticipating. I did my homework on him. So when that take place, it's a learning lesson.
Well, how do we find you? So what's your, in terms of contact information, is part of the purpose of the Actors Platform is for folks like you, that whatever type of performing artist you are now, but you're going into acting, how do we find you? Is it through your apparel line, through a special email?
You can find me on Instagram at BAND_UP_FLOCK, and that's Band Up Fly.
Band of Flock.
Band Up Fly.
Band Up Flock. All right, one more time. Tell us again.
Band Up Fly. You go on Instagram, you type in BAND_UP_FLOCK, and you can find me on all streaming platforms at Slick Fly. SLI, 2 Ks, no Cs. FLOCK. The same on YouTube.
So your stage name, your rapper name, artist names, what was the origin of that? Where did that come from?
Wow.
Can you share that with us?
Flock.
Too personal?
No, it ain't too personal. Flock, that's my nickname, actually, because I don't know if y'all familiar with the rapper Waka Flocka. So, they kind of say I look like him. So, back then, everybody, you ain't even got to know me. They'd be like, he look like Flocka. So, my homeboys just started calling me Flock for short. So, that's where that originated from. And Slick, that's just like a Baltimore word that people say and use all the time. So I ain't really had to put too much thought in my stage name.
Right. It's already evolved, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We won't share some of my nicknames that I acquired over the years. In terms of preparation, Voodoo Baby, is this the first time, this is your first step in acting, will be Voodoo Baby?
No.
No?
Nope.
All right, tell us, what else have you done acting-wise?
Well, I was an extra in Mayor of Kingstown, so I'm on season 2. I've been in, I want to say 4 movies so far. I've been in a movie called A Hustler's Son, that's coming on our platform soon. I just finished up a movie called Blue Flowers, so Voodoo Baby just getting added to the list,
Now, how did you break in? How did you get those opportunities? I mean, Mayor of Kingstown, is that the Jeremy Renner project? And he had a bad paper route recently with that accident. But what was it like working on that production?
I mean, that was, to me, that's the highest that you can get on. That was a Paramount film, so you seeing how everything is going on a major level. So everything was like organized and everybody, the communication was good, so it was cool, the whole process of it. I liked it.
They probably had like catering too.
Oh yeah,
like
a lot of
catering.
They let you take home food when you was done.
Yeah.
Like how many plates you want.
Yeah.
If you want to take 5 plates home, you could.
Now, how did you get involved in those productions? Because we're here using this platform to help people meet you and get you out there, but how, this word of mouth, or you?
Yeah, just knowing the right people. My friend, I seen it on a agency site that I was on, and I emailed them. A friend of mine emailed them from wherever they got it from, and that's how I got on that. But as far as in different movies, like my cousin is a director, so my cousin writes his own movies and produce his own film. So he put me in my first movie in 2019. So in 2022, that's when he put me in another movie, which is, I just said, Blue Flowers. So that, when I did that, that made me like really want to start doing it more, because like in my head, I wanted to get into acting once my music take off. But, sometimes how you got things planned, that ain't how God got it planned.
Right, but as a rapper, you are sort of the producer as well, right?
Yeah.
You're artist, you're singing. Do you like the production side? Like, are you using acting because you want to be on camera, or do you want to be on the other side of the camera and be like your cousin and produce your own movies?
Do it all.
So kind of get as much experience as you can, whether it's on camera, off camera, writing, producing.
I want to do it all. And I already got like blueprints that's already done it. You look at 50 Cent. 50 Cent rap, then he started acting. Now he producing his own shows, you know. You got Ice Cube, you got different blueprints.
And they have apparel.
Yeah. You know,
Like if
yeah.
P. Diddy's, like his apparel line probably makes more money off that than,
So,
but yeah.
You got those examples. That's just to show you that you can do it too.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So I want to do it all.
Well, tell us one more time about your apparel line.
Okay. Well, as an artist, I feel as though you have to have a brand. BUG is my brand. You know, I use it for two different things. Like as far as my music, BUG stand for Band Up Gang. That's why when I told you on my Instagram, it's Band Up Fly.
Right.
And that's for the music side, the Band Up Gang. But as far as the clothing line, I wanted to come with something positive. And that's Believe You're Great. Because, you know, we come from environments where you're not told that.
Right.
You know, we told the worst about us. You told this and that, but you ain't been told you're great. So I just want to let the youth know, and ain't it got to be the youth, anybody, to believe you're great.
I like that. Believe you're great. One more time, Slick Block, how do we find you as we start to wrap
You
up
can
here?
find me on YouTube and all streaming platforms at Slick, SLIKK, Flock, FLOCK. And you can find me on Instagram at Band Up Flock.
5 years out, where do you think you'd like to be in terms of this industry? You'd probably still be tied to that nursing,
I was
still a
probably
mom.
still, yes, still
and,
nursing, still a mom. In 5 years, I really hope to make it onto something a little bit more mainstream to get myself really out there and get me seen as a rising potential actress. So if anybody is interested in seeing me, they can, look me up and maybe look at some of the past productions that I've done and say, I see potential there, let's hone her, and I have this role in my mind that she looks perfect for, let's see what she's got.
Right,
And
right.
I really hope that that happens, and if it does happen, again, I'm gonna take it, grab it, and go with it.
Well, that's one of the goals or objectives of the Actors Platform, is to give you an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me too, just to jabberwock for a little bit and keep my instrument in tune, because we're all, we like it. We got the bug somewhere, somehow down the line. And I can tell you that we first started this production, at least my involvement, before the pandemic, and 4 out of the first 7 guests got their own shows and work out of it. Again, it's just, you never know where that one little opportunity, that person you meet, whether it's nursing,
That
or
is true.
military, or here on the USS Constellation. Again, thank you very much for being here.
But with my full name, Venus Wardhoe-Seppel.
There we go, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the Actors Platform, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.